clearing prelims is simply a function of the number of mock tests you do and how good your analysis and revision is. Okay, so my fourth point is about how to now. This is the most important point: how to schedule your mock test. I said you need only 3 months. I said you need to do a lot of mock tests. Then how do you go about it? So every year I used to do 70 mock tests. 70 mock tests may seem like a lot, but it's actually 2 test series. That's it. 2 test series. Each test series generally has 35 tests. So I would pick up 2 test series, and I would like the entire block I used to pick up once, and I used to segregate them. I'll come to how to analyze the mock test in a bit. So I used to segregate these tests subject wise. So generally there are like 6 or 7 subjects, and I used to take like subject wise or sectional tests as they are called. I used to segregate them. For example, if you take modern history, test series 1 will give you 2 tests. Test series 2 may give you 3 tests. So I have a total of 5 tests in my hand. So for each subject, I would have at least 5 or 6 subject-wise tests, or in other words, sectional tests. So these tests do have like 100 questions. They have to be attempted in 2 hours. It's just that these tests have just one subject they're focusing on. So they are like sectional tests. Okay, this is how I would first segregate the test. And in the first round, and the full length test, whatever you have in those 35, you keep them aside for a little bit. So in the first 1.5 months of those 3 months, you will focus entirely on this subject-wise or sectional tests. So in the first round, that is in your 1.5 months, you will give 1 week per subject. So let's say I always used to start with modern India because I was very comfortable with it. So my first week, or maybe even 6 days or 7 days, depending on how I felt about the subject, but the maximum you should give for a subject in your first round is 1 week. I don't think you need or you should give anything more than that. So in the every week, I used to pick up 1 subject. Okay, let's say I start with modern India, and I've decided I'm a beginner. I've decided to give 1 week for modern India. Now, how do I cover modern India in this 1 week? So generally, if you take any test series, the tests are graded. In the sense, the first test is the easiest, and then so on. So on the first day, I would just sit and take the test. It doesn't matter. I may have read something before. With absolute whatever little knowledge I have, I will sit and attempt the test. And I will attempt it like a real test. I will try to use my tricks, or try to use my logic, my head, whatever I can, but I'll do it sincerely for 2 hours. Once the test is done for 2 hours, next 2 to 2.5 hours, sometimes even 3 hours, I would sit and analyze the test. In the next part of our discussion, I'll come to how to actually attempt a test. But here, I'm trying to tell you how do you schedule your mock tests and revision in those 3 months. So in the first 1.5 months, each week, I would allot 1 subject. So I would start with modern India. In the morning, the first thing I would get up and do is start taking a test. I would take a test and then sit and analyze the solution, whatever is happening. By then, your lunch break will come. So that is when like 1:12 or 1 o'clock. And in the afternoon, I would take my short notes on history, whatever modern India short notes are, I would parallelly read. So it's never like I'll sit and finish my entire modern India and then I'll pick up a test. So these 2 things always happened parallelly. And I was learning parallelly. On one hand, these test series, whoever is making those test series, they put a lot of effort. They go here and there and they collect nice questions for you, which you may not have the time to go and check out yourself. So utilize them, like take advantage of that. So in the morning session, I would learn a lot from the test series that somebody else has made. Their effort, I'm learning from them. And in the afternoon session, I would read whatever short notes I have on history. Basic short notes. See, my entire preparation, I did not read any short notes other than Bipin Chandra, a small NCERT textbook. And spectrum, towards the end of the spectrum, there are some summary sheets towards the entire like end of the spectrum. I tore those from the spectrum and kept the book away. So it's my Bipin Chandra NCRT notes, which I have in like 10 or 15 papers. And then I have this spectrum ka pages. So in the afternoon, I would read those. And in the morning, I would do the test, analyze it, and read from their solutions. So this is how you will finish your all your subjects in 1.5 months. 1 week per subject maximum, and you will be able to finish. Like if you look at science and technology, you wouldn't need more than 4 or 5 days if you go by this method. Okay, and this is how you'll do 1.5 months, and you still have another 1.5 months. Now what you'll do now is you will focus on full length tests and CSAT test, because CSAT is becoming tricky and you should be focusing on CSAT as well. So in these 1.5 months also, you need a structure to study. You can't just pick up any subject and study. Again, I would divide my time of whatever 7 subjects I have. I would give them this time 3 days each. And but I would still, in the morning, I would attempt full length tests. I would go ahead and attempt the test. In the afternoon, again, if the first 3 days is for modern India this time as well, I would revise my modern India notes, whatever that I have. So this would go on in the afternoon. And I would also schedule some CSAT tests in between, depending on where your level is for CSAT. Some people are like very comfortable, then you can reduce the number of CSAT tests. But I would say attempt at least 10 or 15 CSAT tests, because you have 1.5 months. That's a lot of time. And full length test, you can attempt like 20-25 full length tests, and do good number. CSAT, at least try to do 10 CSAT tests. So this is how you should schedule your tests. And the next part is fine. All this is fine. You will attempt a mock test. You will analyze it on the same day. But how to extract the maximum out of it? Or in other words, how to revise this mock test and make sure you're remembering all those things, whatever you're reading. Because every mock test has 100 questions, and when you're analyzing them, you are bombarded with a lot of new information. How do you filter that information? How do you remember it so that you can actually make use of that information in the actual exam? So now we'll talk about that. Okay, so first is how to attempt the test.